and with financial institutions, etc. So they help a lot of these others, but there's definitely a sovereignty in size. Like Moses says, there's some who are going to be overseers of 50, 100, 1,000. So there's grace on different people for different sizes, and to get happy with that capacity that God has given you is a beautiful thing, to be happy with the skin you're born in. If we start comparing ourselves, that's where discouragement comes in. If you compare yourselves with people who are bigger than you, you get discouraged. Compare yourself with people who are the same, you get complacent. Compare yourself with people who got less, you get arrogant. And so I think the whole world of comparing is a bad space to get into. Just getting comfortable saying, I'm so glad I got these people in front of me, very happy with what God is doing in our life. We always are aspiring for more, but that should not make us hate what we've got now and despise it, so that we're just going to grab the thing out in the future.
Wayne, can I ask you a question, just in relation to something you just said?
I was going to say something profound on the back of that. You go for it.
Okay. Well, I wanted to draw out a little bit more about this whole idea you mentioned about making people feel valued, people feel at home. Because one of your great skills, and I'm just wondering if you could share a little bit with us. Sometimes you might be in a church of 100 people, and you don't feel that sense of warmth, from the person who's at the front. Whereas I would suggest you can stand in front of a crowd of 1,000 or 2,000 people, and you can sit in that crowd and you can think, oh, he likes me. He's talking to me. And I think that's a really valuable skill. Can you tell us a little bit about how you develop that? And you obviously put effort and thought into making people feel like, hey, you are important here.
It starts with liking people, John.
Right.
It's a good place to start. I think it's also a good thing to genuinely love what they're doing. Yeah. And I am such a big cheerleader for, especially in this setting, what our people, what our pastors and our leaders are doing across this incredible nation. And I genuinely mean it. The other thing is, I think just to learn the art of presencing yourself, all of us are speaking, and there are times you've got to, especially these two guys have got a heavier workload than I've even got this week. So this is not about what they're doing, but for me, if I've got some time and I don't need to be in the back room in the cave, I'll be out talking with people. And being in Australia, there's something magnificent that we have that not every nation has. It's the word mate. And so when I see you and call you mate, I've forgotten your name. You know what I mean, mate? So, I like you, and I'll often say to my team, who's that? And they'll tell me, and so I use the name, but I just need to be able to be engaged, and I like people. I love what I do. I don't have a clue what else I can do. So I'm going to do this for the rest of my days. And so what we're about is all about people. And, I just think being with them. James asked me a little while ago, he said, because of the world we all live in, and we've got little hats and different roles. I said, how do you make it work? I said, simply, wherever you are, be fully there. Just be fully there. I hate having lunch with people that spend the whole time on Instagram. Just, I'll throw it in the garden. Just don't do it. So just look at faces, listen to stories, and celebrate them. Get in a conversation and listen with your eyes. And celebrate them. People are amazing. Their stories. Lynn goes mad at me. We go to the monastery. We go, look at them. That's so and so. She goes, stop it. I said, no, look at them. They're amazing. I get enamored and excited about people and their stories. So I don't know if it's an art, but I do think you can sharpen whatever you are.
The strange thing about people wanting community is that screen living has become a whole lot more accessible. And I think it's making the world a smaller place. And whether we like it or not, it's becoming a great part of church life when you ask about what trends are happening. And I think that more and more using that technology is going to help us. If it's done right, it's done well, to create this feeling of presencing ourselves. I mean, if you've got 20,000 people in front of you, you can do that. But if you've got 20 congregations of 1,000 people each, to do it through a screen, it's still going to be just as effective. You've got the same heart for it. And I think we've got to be confident about screens and using them, and not think that they're going to destroy personal stuff going on in the church. I think, especially this younger generation, they're kind of addicted to screens. And I think we've got to accept that they're here, and that we can use them in a really effective communicating way in all sorts of situations.